Hello, welcome to a small social scene for Suburban Apples. Today's scene takes place in the home of Dee. It's morning, not too early. It's just still the weekend. Around 9, 10, that sort of thing. Breakfast is being cooked by Dee's father, who is singing to himself as he flips pancakes. Dee's mother, Fern, is making orange juice. That is yeah.
No wonder I'm bringing him in, because fresh orange juice, Jesus, every kid needs that. Dee probably woke up recently when she could. There was probably coffee going. She can smell that too.
Mm-hmm.
Probably woke up to that and kind of stretches in her bed, and kind of scrambles out after a few minutes because that coffee does smell good. And kind of doesn't even bother changing. She's wearing PJs. It's fine. But she's going to shove her feet into some flip-flops because she's pretty sure that there is someone sleeping out in the treehouse, and there's going to be a discussion had. So she's going to kind of wave to her mom and dad as she heads through the kitchen and out of the house. And she'll just be like, totally not going outside. I'll be right back. And she just kind of keeps going.
Your mother's going to give like a weird look. She takes after your side of the family. Your father.
More ways than you know.
And yeah, she's gonna climb the ladder up into the treehouse. Being specifically a little bit louder so that he can hear her coming. If he's still asleep, she's not sure if he's sleeping or not.
Yeah, I mean, you did say you were actually gave him extra blankets and stuff in this state while he's up there. Yeah, so he's still wrapped up. He's actually like curled up in the corner still and stuff like that. And maybe like starting to sit up, somewhat bleary-eyed, hair tousled about.
Yeah, her hair, she hasn't even combed her hair. You see her just, she climbs up, she's wearing like a tank top and like a pair of pajama pants with ladybugs on them. Like very teenagery. And you can just sort of see her head sort of peeking up through the hole in the thing there as she's kind of looking at you.
Well, good morning, Dee.
It is a beautiful afternoon, isn't it?
Yes. How long have I been asleep?
I'd say at least 24 hours.
Oh, I missed the whole day?
Exactly, and that's why you should come inside.
Come inside? Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like pancakes, do you?
I do like pancakes.
Well, I have every intention of eating all of them. So you should totally, run ahead.
Well, you're kind of in the way of the ladder.
And she'll start taking a few steps. To, a few steps just far enough that she could just make the leap the rest of the way.
Yeah. He climbs down one step at a time, all the way down.
Oh, she feels so sad now. That's terrible. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No, sorry. Now I'm just thinking to myself, go.
Yeah, she's gonna head back into the house.
Yeah, she's following behind her.
And she kind of opens the door to walk in first, despite the fact that she just told him to run ahead.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I'm trying to remember the name of the dad. Mr. Singh. Until I look up. Udon.
Yeah, his name's Udon.
We'll just go.
Udon, like the noodles?
It's spelled differently, but
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Udon is setting out 3 plates and starting to flip some pancakes onto the plates and a bit of bacon, eggs, the whole family breakfast sort of thing. And as Fern takes a seat, do you find what you were looking for outside? That's the mom.
No, but I found Patrick.
Fern looks a little confused. Udon a little less so. Who's Patrick, dear?
He's like slightly behind her, not like obscured, but yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna kind of take him by the shoulder, not like firmly or meanly, but just kind of pull him so he can be seen. He's one of the neighborhood, one of the neighborhood kids, and I just, just met him. I thought maybe we could have breakfast.
Morning, Mr. and Mrs. D.
Morning, scamp. The Udon says, and stands up and goes and gets another plate. You hungry?
Oh yeah, I'm very hungry.
Good.
Fern looks Patrick a whole day.
Fern looks him up and down. The bathroom's right over there. You should wash your hands before you sit down to eat.
Oh, okay. Which door?
Second door on the left.
Okay, I'll be back.
Second store on the right.
As he goes to go wash his hands.
Actually, D actually bought
go ahead and roll antithesis for that.
I will.
I was going to say, you do that well. I actually mentioned that D.
I do not succeed.
Well, D actually does say that under her breath when like her mom says that, and she's like, second star to the right.
But a cold wind for the changeling side be felt when he goes to go do this, and for a moment you actually see one of the leaves, the chimerical leaves of his clothing, just curl up and yellow and dry up before it detaches and drifts onto the floor as he goes to wash his hands. And that's probably something every changeling in that scene noticed.
Yeah, D pretty much kind of looks at her dad suddenly.
And the father looks incredibly concerned and a bit alarmed.
So does she.
Anyway, continue with your conversation with the family, because I'm sure Mom wants to say something.
Mom wouldn't know what's going on.
Well, I know, but a little confused about what the neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
Well, she's probably used to accepting randomly the things that her family says because we're all weirdos. I don't know. Your call.
Does he belong to anyone on the street?
Yeah, but he hasn't told me which one yet.
Well, what's his name? I mean, he has a last name, doesn't he?
I assume so. I just met him.
Oh, well.
He was outside and he looked hungry. Are you saying we shouldn't? I mean, we have plenty of food.
No.
Are you saying we shouldn't feed him?
She gives you a look of really, D.
He's totally going for the guilt trip thing.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. D.
It's one of the ways she's found to get around to things because her mom starts asking too many questions and she has to pull something. This poor woman, I'm telling you, he probably does the same thing to her.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
She sets out another plate with breakfast on it for Patrick.
Honestly, she's probably done this before. If she's found someone homeless when she was a little kid, she probably tried to do it too. She has that kind of heart where she would try to help people. So, not necessarily bring them home, but at least give them food.
So
Patrick eventually comes back around, and he's cleaned up, washed up.
There's a plate with pancakes and eggs and bacon out. They're set out for Patrick to join them at the table.
And he gets up there and he crawls into the chair and he sits there, legs dangling, like not kicking out or anything like that though. But he's still short, so they're at the end there.
So Patrick, you're from around here?
Not really.
Oh, well, do you have any family around here?
Shakes his head.
Oh, okay. Well, what brings you to this neck of the woods?
Well, the woods, for one thing. Also, I made a few friends here, so I was wanting to just stay around.
The Udon kind of looks at D like he's a very forward young man that you've brought home, Indira.
By the way, he hasn't eaten yet until everyone else starts eating.
Oh.
Oh God, he's being that polite.
He's being very well behaved.
Well, if I could figure out that's what's going on, to be honest, I don't even know. Let me look if I got etiquette on her, because if I have it, then I can probably guess that's what happened. And I do. She has etiquette 1.
I thought you were there when he got cursed.
She was, but to put 2 and 2 together, she has etiquette. Therefore, that's fine.
Yeah.
And she'll actually take a couple of bites at some point so that at least she's not the one blocking you.
Okay. And so when she starts, he'll pick up his fork and a knife. He starts cutting. He's cutting them down into manageable bite-sized pieces.
And roll your antithesis for that too.
Mm-hmm. That one I succeed. So, but that cold wind comes blowing in again. And you can see like the leaves on his clothes just sort of like curl for a brief moment before springing back to full bright vibrancy. The color in his eyes almost seemed to dull just a small amount before coming back, and he's just
and Misha just looks at her dad and she's just like, he's a nice kid. I can't help it.
He nods and just kind of like eyes Patrick suspiciously as this wind keeps blowing through his home. And he kind of looks at D and he goes, oops, and knocks his glass of orange juice down onto the floor where it shatters and makes a mess. Well, that's going to be quite the mess to clean up. How clumsy am I this morning? D, will you help me get the mop and bucket out of the garage, please? I need to get the cleaning supplies. Make sure that this doesn't make the floor all sticky.
I would never help you with that, as she's standing up.
Well, I could.
Oh, no. You sit here and you keep Mrs. Singh company.
Okay.
I'm a good boy.
As he leads his daughter to the garage.
I'm sure we'll have a Patrick and Miss Singh's conversation soon.
Indira. This kid.
It's totally his fault, you know.
And he just kind of does a little bird tilt. He seems to be inviting a little bit of trouble to himself, but
yeah, totally. Like I said, that was totally him who set this up on him. He walked right into it. Completely his choice.
Oh, well. Certainly. And who was it that may have been trying to advise him against making this choice?
Well, I certainly wouldn't know. being as how I definitely didn't see it, but I would guess that it would be Vin.
The pointy fellow across the street, face like a slapped ass.
The very gentleman himself.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to have a conversation, I think. Or something along those lines.
He just sort of nods and grabs a mop and bucket and points to some of the cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
Not that I need your help, but it'd be fantastic if you would carry those in just to make a show of strength, effort, and community cohesion.
Yeah, she totally does, because she knows about this is kind of a thing that they have to do all the time, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Cover for each other. It's fun. This is a game I'm used to. Yeah, she'll grab probably, like, if he's grabbed the mop and the bucket, she's grabbed like the cleaning, like the mop chemical junk that you use, the mop and glow or whatever. And she's gonna be like, doesn't he remind you of someone in a book?
Well, I don't read much, so I'd be hard pressed to say exactly who he reminds me of. Mr. Singh certainly does have the collection. Being an entertainer, he appreciates a good story.
He actually does read, though,
right? He is probably fairly familiar with who this kid reminds him of.
You should see him in his other, version. When he's not so very well behaved.
I did think that seemed kind of a little bit of a reboot. With somebody perhaps unfamiliar with the source material. And before he leaves the garage, he's gonna go to there's it's a posh neighborhood, so there's like a wash-up sink in their garage, that kind of thing. So he's filling it up with water before bringing it out to the kitchen area.
Yep, she's just gonna wait with her dad, because we gotta keep our cover story straight.
Yeah, and yes.
Which gives you a moment if you wanted to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, go ahead. So as this is going on in the garage, Mrs. Singh, or Fern, is just kind of looking at the boy, kind of concerned.
As he's being very polite and subdued and meek and mild and a little too polite.
So you're one of Dee's friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have any family around? What's your name?
He chews and swallows. Oh, Patrick.
Do you have a last name, Patrick?
Mm-hmm. Mason.
Oh, and she's you said you don't have family here? Are you sure? There's Mrs. Mason across the street, and you bear more than a passing resemblance to her.
Well, I don't know. I don't think we're related.
Oh.
Do you guys have a dustpan and a broom I could borrow? I mean, I bring it back.
Oh, of course. Why?
Well, Miss Mason had her window broken, and I wanted to help clean it up.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed that window was broken. Do you know what happened with the window?
Oh, yeah, me and my friends were getting chased by some people, and they threw a rock and it broke the window.
Oh goodness. Um, and have you told your mother about this?
I don't know where she is.
And she just kind of shakes her head a bit and one moment, and she like slides her chair back and goes to like go get her cell phone, which she and her husband do not keep at the table so that they do not get distracted.
I guarantee you my character does.
Yeah. She's a teenage girl. She operates by different rules than parents. But about this time, I think, is when Dee and Mr. Singh would come back.
Yeah, and Dee will walk over to the table where, you know, I'll hold her hands out for the mop so that she can start doing that, and as her, you know, so her dad can get down to like start working, you know, to pick up all the glass, because you can't mop up glass. That's awkward. So between the two of us, basically, she's just going to start cleaning up the mess.
You're going to roll perception alertness.
Let me find it. I think it's 4.
But hearing would possibly apply.
Yes, definitely.
Which makes it diff what, 4 then? Oh, that's 1.
Okay.
Very weird little roll there.
You both hear Mrs. Singh making a call just outside of the kitchen. Yes, could you please put me through to missing children, please?
Misha's gonna go in there. Misha. Well, sorry. Still, Dee is at this point going to stand up, and she's gonna head into the other room and look like she's just passing through. Basically, she drops the mop mid cleaning, and kind of is this a phone that's attached to a wall?
No, it's a cell phone.
Oh, it's her cell phone. Okay. She is going to trip into her mother and try to send the phone flying.
Okay.
Even willingly breaking the phone.
Okay, we'll say that's a Dex Athletics or Dex Performance, either or, like the whichever one's higher for you.
Accident.
Oh my goodness!
Maybe send it into the mop bucket of water.
that would be fine. She's fine with that. She doesn't care if the phone breaks.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want missing children to be called on Patrick. That would just be like the worst thing for Patrick right now. Yeah, let me find. Okay, see, I have basically nothing in Dex. Well, no, I have 3. That's amazing. I thought I only had 2. All right, so athletics is 1, or do I have any performance? I don't think I do.
Nope. So
no, I
4
went.
dice.
All right, 4 dice it is. Zero successes. So you can translate that for me.
You kind of bump into your mom, and she's just like, Dee. Just
what? I left my phone upstairs. I was just gonna go get it. What's going on?
I'm trying to find out if anybody's looking for this young man.
Why don't you just let me ask around a little bit first? You might just scare him off.
Well, I mean, he's very young, Dee. He shouldn't be out on the streets.
I get you, but at the same time, runaways just run away again, right? What if there's some really terrible reason why he's out there? and not with his family? What if he has made a good choice and it was the right thing, even if he ended up in a bad situation?
You can roll your, let's see, it would be manipulation, empathy to convince your mom of this.
Okay. Me with the 4 dice on everything.
Hey, it's better than no dice.
Yes.
I got 3.
There you go. And she takes a deep breath. And she, no, never mind. I was mistaken. She hangs up the phone and she puts it on like one of those like little like stands that would have a lamp or something on it, and just puts it next to the lamp. Very well, but he's not staying on the streets. He can stay in your brother's room.
I'm sure he'll be fine with that. I'll talk to him.
And she nods, and she comes back, and she's giving Patrick this very like piteous look now, like,
Aww.
What could he have run away from? This poor little child. This poor, obviously younger than 13-year-old child.
He's 10. He's always going to be 10.
Yes.
Hey, if that, what is it? If the what was it called in that one? Is it the fairy eternity? Is that what it is?
Yeah. He ages at 1/10 the rate.
Okay, so he will eventually age. It'll just take a very long time.
Yes, he will be a child forever, or at least until it's time for the retreat, or the eventual happens.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Singh finishes mopping up his orange juice and gives a look of like, you took care of shit to D. Like, did you get it?
If you want a perception roll or something, or are you just going to let him catch some of this stuff? That basically that there seems to be sort of a camaraderie going on here. Because I was going to say, I mean, it seems like to me that Patrick might catch some of this.
Yeah,
maybe. I think he's more focused on eating his food.
Okay. All right. And she just she nods in this tiny little nod and then shrugs, kind of, it's kind of like, I did, but eh.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to stand up. She kind of heads over to her chair and just looks at her dad, and she's like, Mom thinks that we totally should, maybe maybe use, God, I've forgotten his name. I have the brother's name. Kamal. Yeah. That maybe we should use Kamal's room for some other very interesting use.
Oh, yes, that sounds nothing like something your mother would be concerned about.
Exactly.
Who's Kamal?
Make sure my mouth is full. Yeah, that is going to be my method of avoiding answering that question. My mouth is a pancake. And she just she's chewing, and she looks at her mom and just sort of shrugs and like,
T. Kamal is my son. He's away at college. We're very, very proud of him. Basketball scholarship.
Oh, he plays basketball?
Well, he has a scholarship. I think it's mostly because he's tall. Poor. She has the look of somebody who's glad her son is going to college, but realizes not the greatest reason for the greatest of reasons is he going. But his room is available while he's at school, and I think somewhere upstairs in the attic, I should have some of his old school clothes. It might be a little long on you. He was always a bit on the lanky side.
Dia's trying not to laugh with her mouth full.
Well, that'd be really nice. I mean, you don't really have to at all or anything.
Oh, Poor lamb.
Just wait till he gets back to normal and he becomes the hellion he really is.
And she just, she gets it like, look to him. Oh, poor thing.
This is the game of let's use the human who can talk normally.
Oh, yes.
And you notice her dad's allowing it to happen too.
Yeah.
We're just like, yep, let her do it.
Yes. So she'll like, she's gonna start eating breakfast, but like anytime Patrick's like plate gets a little like emptier, she'll just like put another little pancake on there, like a scoop of eggs. Put some meat on your bones. Going into full like fussing mother mode.
This doesn't have any meat.
Bacon is meat.
And he's
sausage too.
Yeah.
So he's been eating really well today.
Yes.
Probably the best he's eaten in a long time, actually. But he's been very, very polite, very demure, all that stuff. Well, I'm sure eventually there's a point though that eventually it's time to clean up plates.
Yes. And I almost called her Miss Mason. It's not her name, Miss Singh. Mrs. Singh will start gathering the dishes together and take them over to the sink where she'll start filling it up with water and start washing the dishes. And Mr. Singh will, put away the mop bucket and stuff from earlier. What are you two doing?
I mean, Dee's gonna help clean the table off and all that kind of thing. I mean, she can probably clear the table while her mom is like loading the dishwasher or something.
Yeah. So
that's not an issue for her. She'll help because it seems to be the right thing to do, and it keeps mom off her back if she's nice to her. So,
well, Patrick was going to start to try and help, clean up things.
If you're going to, she's not going to stop you, but we both know that's...
Yep. Well, he's going to do it. He's going to, so we know what's coming.
Well, let's put it this way. She's kind of caught on to how this works. Every time you do things that are too good, you seem to you kind of react badly. Would it be fair to say that I can probably guess that might happen if he does this?
I mean, if you want to roll, I'll say perception awareness. I'll allow that. Yeah.
You mean kenning?
Kenning is more alertness. Yeah, perception alertness. I think it's a better. Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just you said awareness because we don't have awareness on these sheets.
Sorry. You play D&D, start calling everything awareness. Yeah. So you start piecing together that.
Let me roll it real quick here just to make sure.
Oh, I thought that was your last roll.
Oh no, but I got the same amount of successes. This roll 2 successes. So
excellent. Yeah. No, you gather that when he starts taking responsible tasks to hand, things get a little chillier.
Yeah, she's just gonna look at Patrick and be like, why don't you go watch some TV? I got this.
Okay.
I love doing this.
Okay.
It's my favorite thing.
Patrick kind of goes to there and he looks at the TV. He sort of tilts his head for a moment before he goes over and then turns it on. And sits a respectful distance away from the TV on whatever it is wrote nearby.
Yeah, I don't know what Bubble Guppies is on. It's a show way too young for you, but
God, I've seen that show.
Patrick probably would actually flip a few channels before settling on something.
Yeah. Well, who was watching Bubble Guppies in this household?
Bubble Guppies is on PBS. your father was probably watching
the news or something.
Yeah, something. I don't know what the hell.
No, they have
something
some
on
kind
PBS.
they have some kind of, or it was Nova.
There you go. That's it. Exactly. This wild earth, that kind of thing. Like, yeah, look at those birds dancing.
Yeah, I bet I could pull off those moves.
He's like so he's watching the show, planning his next his next show.
Yeah, like I could do better than that. Like watching a breakdance fight, except with birds.
Oh yeah,
this guy got shit on me. Anyways, yeah. So, past Bubble Guppy's on to, I don't know, too cliche to say Ninja Turtles. I don't care. Ninja Turtles is on then. So yeah,
that's much more his range. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to watch. Well, they said I should watch TV, so that's what I'm doing. They didn't say I could go outside. Well, I know that's what I want to do. I don't really like TV all that much, but they said I should watch TV, so that's what I'm doing.
Roll antithesis.
Mm-hmm.
You literally just made TV into a chore.
I did not succeed. There goes the banality. Another leaf goes down.
So, yeah, as the chill wind continues to blow through the house, and once again affecting Patrick with another leaf curling and dropping to the floor. Those of you in the near vicinity who are sensitive to such things will feel it once again.
Yeah, she shivers. She shivers as she can feel this wind come through. What was her dad doing at the time? He was doing something, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's like putting away the cleaning supplies in the garage and stuff.
Okay, well then I wouldn't have seen. So, yeah, she just kind of shivers and looks in that direction.
Yeah, a moment later, like the father will come back in, and same household, we're going to say, feels that sort of general like it just kind of gives Dia a look like something has to be done.
She just nods and will kind of touch her cell phone, which is in her pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, she can't really say anything, but she was trying to get across the point that I'm going to message him soon. I'm going to meet, make arrangements to meet something,
And he's going to go into the living room, and he's gonna like take a knee next to Patrick and just kind of give him a look, and he's so tell me, how are you feeling today?
Not good.
He just pauses at a moment, takes a small glance at Bella. A little nod.
Is there a way to unweave that, or is it too late for that?
Are you asking in character, out of character?
I would never say that out loud with my mother around.
Okay, I wasn't sure what it was. Like,
I wonder if there's a way to unweave that. Unweave what, honey? Nothing, Mom.
The
carpet. I'm trying to unweave the carpet.
Don't do that, dear.
All right, I will, Mom.
There's a way with I need to write out the house rules for unweaving because so many people have naming Greymare and the realm used for casting it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. I'm just want to see how many dice I even have.
Yeah. Well, we're slightly in the past, so yeah. I have to remain this way until after the Marcia scene. So
yeah.
Well, we can claim it. We can. She's the ST. We can certainly say that we wait until after, just to keep the timeline clear. Mm. We can we can wait till after that for her to make the attempt. Mm. Yeah. Grimare and what else?
I think Faye was what was used to cast it.
Yeah, Faye, because it was on Patrick.
Yeah, and it's going to be a higher difficulty because it's somebody else's magic. Instead of like it.
What would the diff be? And do I have to spend glamour and all that?
Let me. Because it's not in the C20 book. I have to go back to second edition to look it up.
Okay.
For unweaving.
Well, because I mean, she would willingly try to do it. That's
Yeah.
my point here, and she'll spend the willpower on it too.
Okay.
Like she'll even spend glamour. We used to be able to spend glamour to lower the diff. He would even do that. This is too much.
Yeah, and I will definitely look it up for you.
I claim first shot at trying though.
Okay.
Once you figure it all out.
Yeah.
Totally. It's only 4 dice I've got, but I'll take it.
Who knows? Maybe that's why it took more than a day, because they were trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't realize how bad this was until she was seeing leaves and stuff falling everywhere. Like, that's not okay. And the cold wind. And 3 times we felt something like this in the last 20 minutes. Like, this is too much. And I think, at this point, it's kind of like, screw the she who could just, like, let it go. I'm just going to handle it if I can.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I totally don't mind. I just need to open up the old book.
Yeah, I never really did any weaving aside from when I played Dantain, and I will say that was a very different thing.
Yeah, and if he were to like invoke the autumn, he could knock it out of commission as well. But that is certainly not something that I could see this kid doing, especially considering how hard it invites banality in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just know that, Dia's just pretty much watching this like, no, this isn't okay. And I think her dad would support her in this. They're both Sealy.
Yeah.
They both need to know this needs to happen.
Yeah, it's a family of good people who are watching this little kid just kind of like wilt and stuff.
And it's starting to affect both of us. It's starting to affect us too.
Yep.
Yeah, because watching any changeling fade is painful. Watching a childling fade is heresy. So, but anyways, yes, Mr. Singh. Well, so what do you want to do, kid?
Well, I kind of want to go outside and play.
Well, it seems to me that that's what you should be doing. It's a nice day out. It's gonna get cold soon. It's best to take advantage of these things while they're still around.
Okay, he says when he turns off the TV, puts it down, and goes out towards the backyard.
Yeah, and as Patrick goes to the backyard, Mrs. Singh looks and like, oh, it's so chilly out, and she like runs upstairs to get one of Kamal's old like pullover sweaters. And she'll go out there and like, oh, you need to put up. And the sweater she's going to offer him is going to have like sleeves that dangle like almost like 6 inches off his arm.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he'll put it on. So.
I kind of want to tell him about the brother, but I'm not gonna. His family's so awful.
He folds it up so that he can get it. So he can. It's not like flopping along his arms forever.
Yeah. And and she'll leave him to play after that, but just like occasionally look out the window, make sure that he's not like injured or eaten by wolves or whatever it is that moms worry about when kids play in the backyard.
It seems that mom has adopted a new little boy.
Hey, he's little. Her other 2 kids are both technically adults. So.
Yep. And play basketball, one of us anyway.
Poorly. He was just too tall to ignore.
He's probably 7 feet tall or some shit.
just so tall. You should play basketball, kid. I bet you're good at it. Yeah, I'm great.
I'm fantastic at this.
I know it's a backyard. There's no basketball or anything. So
actually, there probably would have been in the driveway. I'm sure there's a basketball hoop because he played basketball.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of what's some good, responsible fun, so to speak, well-behaved fun. Because most of the fun he wants to do is not necessarily the most well-behaved. So he's kind of like a little stumped for a little moment. Now he's out here. What does he do?
Well, there's a
He could
tree
play in the
house.
mud. Oh no, he could.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is the tree house, which it has a legitimate ladder to climb up and down it.
Mm-hmm.
There is the basketball hoop. Both of those things are things that they're clearly prepared to have.
Mm-hmm.
If you dig around in the right bush, which I don't know if you would or not, but if you would find alcohol hidden out there.
Yeah, he's not digging around bushes. Seemed like the responsible thing to do.
It isn't the most likely thing at this point.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So, I mean, eventually, after a area of time, part of him wants to get a good higher viewpoint of things, and so he decides to climb up the treehouse and sort of like stare out the window of it over the neighborhood and stuff, and looking around.
Yeah, you'll see like the other side of the neighborhood from from that vantage, since it's in the backyard. Just other kids playing in their yards, and somebody a few yards over has a trampoline. Somebody in the yard directly behind Dee's is playing with their dog. Typical kid shenanigans.
I'm guessing we don't have any pets because we have enough pets within the family itself.
It just seems like a poor choice for Puka. Like it's a little gauche.
Oh, that trampoline looks like a lot of fun. And he's just sort of staring out at this and watching the world where kids get to have fun, wild and crazy fun. But not for him. Not well-behaved Patrick. As he's just watching the world.
Once I finish cleaning up, she will head outside. Well, she'll actually go up and like kind of do the wash up thing because she just woke up and like fix her hair. Maybe throw it back in a ponytail or something. Put on normal clothing and not PJs. Then she'll walk outside. And if she can't see you, she's gonna guess you'd be in the treehouse anyways. So she'll climb up. You okay?
Shakes his head.
What's wrong?
I don't feel good.
And here I thought everything was just peachy.
Well, I haven't seen any peaches.
Maybe you're looking in the wrong place.
Where would one go find peaches?
I mean, they'd be in a bunch of places, really. I mean, my favorite place to do, to go find peaches is definitely like going to the bus station. They have the best peaches there.
Really?
She nods and then shakes her head.
I'm confused. He goes back to staring out the window again.
Well, what do you want to do? That looks boring.
It is.
Well, why don't you do what you want to do?
It's not right. I want to do it, but I can't.
What if I went along So you felt like it was okay?
I don't know. Maybe.
You could totally pretend I'm a grown-up.
He doesn't respond to that. He's actually just staring out the window, watching the people on the trampoline, seeing how much they catch air, how much they fly, and he's lost back in memories of watching those flips happen. And I remember watching his mother flying across from the trapeze. And those times when he was very little, when he couldn't even grab all of the trapeze himself, she'd have him on his back and told him not to let go, don't let go. And he'd tumble through the air with her, right, holding on. That was the closest he ever felt to flying. And how much he wants to fly. He wants to fly. Something inside him wants to cry out in laughter and but well-behaved people don't cry out in wondrous laughter or swing from trapeze, jump up and down on trampolines, or at least if they do, it's none of the fun things. So Patrick's just watching because that's all he can do. Or at least as far as in his little mind, it's all he can do. To watch a world have fun without him.
Would you allow that? She can't fix any of that. Of course, she doesn't even know any of that because it's all in your head.
Yep.
You can roll perception, empathy, or even use your gift birthright to get him talking, you know?
Well, yeah, but that's one of those things that's really weird to use another fae with, in some ways. I'm sure you know.
It's got its purposes. If it's used for something malicious, or if it's used to just kind of coax somebody into comfortably talking about something that they generally wouldn't. I mean, it's like any fae magic. There's a good time to use it and a not great time to use it. So, it's not like you're trying to get like nuclear launch codes out of him.
Wouldn't that be a surprise if he gave him?
What were you doing in the past? I don't actually have the book open. I'm sure you'd. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping now. I'm sure you do. What would the roll be on that? Because I know what I would ask. I just don't know what the roll would be.
I can bring that up real fast.
Empathy. Let me double check the difficulty.
I really made this girl so bad at everything. She has like 1 in everything.
Confidence. Perception and empathy or subterfuge, player's choice. Resisted by the target's willpower to get to answer to a question.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There you go. You can roll your willpower to resist. She rolls her
cat. Sorry. He's being a good kitty, but he's standing on things. You're standing on things you shouldn't be. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much perception, empathy, because I'm thinking subterfuge isn't going to apply, because she's pretty much just going to be like, what you thinking? I mean, that's as direct as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
So empathy makes more sense, even though I have more in subterfuge.
Well, I mean, I think subterfuge is given the alternate because Puka are always like lying, so it can be like...
They can weasel information out, yeah.
Right, I just meant in this situation, I kind of thought empathy made more sense unless another call is made.
All right, let me roll my willpower.
You like?
Only one success.
Yeah. So let's see your roll. Ooh.
1.
Yeah.
Who's defender?
He's. I mean, he's technically defending.
Okay.
But
And that doesn't work.
Hmm.
But she did ask the question.
That's like.
Yeah.
Watch what you're thinking about.
Yep.
Yep.
Questions are not don't have to be lies because that's a
Exactly.
question.
Yep, exactly. Sort of shrugs. Lots of stuff, I guess.
Well, why don't we just go somewhere if you're that if you look like this is exactly the place you very much want to be all the time.
I don't want to be here all the time, but I don't know where I want to go. All the places I want to go aren't places that people are supposed to go. All the things I want to do are the things that people aren't supposed to do. I want to climb up drain pipes. I want to run across roofs. I want to throw mud. I want to play ball.
What does ball or mud hurt? So you I mean, people play sports. I mean, like, you realize how often they play sports, right?
Guess. But people hurt each other. They get hurt in scrapes.
And she's gonna just kind of grab his hand and start tugging him towards the not like if you pull away, she's gonna let you go.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He which is another thing is this child probably would have pulled away if he were normal Patrick.
Yeah, she's gonna grab him and start tugging him towards the the little opening down where the ladder's at, and she's gonna climb down the ladder and be like, "Just follow me." Okay. And while he's still climbing down, she's gonna run into the house and be like, I'm going to the park with Patrick. Maybe if gosh, I forgot the puka thing there. Forgive me. I need to figure out some way to phrase that.
Well, if you're not asked a question, you don't have to.
I don't have to, right?
Yes.
So we'll just leave it for now because I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Being busy. Forgive me.
It's like, probably won't be back until a week. Exaggerate a bit.
I just didn't think. I lost track of my thoughts.
It's good.
It's fine though. It's okay. I didn't mess it up really. So
yeah.
And she's like, I'm taking Patrick to the park. and then she just heads off. Like, she's not really asking, she's just letting them know where she's going.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't even always do. I mean, let's face it, this girl sneaks out of the house at night all the time.
Yeah.
But in this case, like, she didn't want her mom freaking out because Patrick wasn't in the backyard anymore.
Yeah. Very responsible of you. Good thing you're not Patrick.
Yeah.
No, my antithesis is something else entirely.
That's right. I know. I was just looking at it.
Yes. I know. I see it in front of my face.
and she's just going to. She is literally going to just pull him, just yank him as she's walking down the street if he doesn't come with her willingly.
Well, no, he's coming with her willingly. He's not resisting.
And she's going to look at him and just be like, once they get there, she'll just like stop at the main part of the park, and she's going to be like, I'm thinking that I might just go sit on the swings for a while because it's kind of nice out. Maybe. So you might find me there in a couple of hours if you were to come looking.
Okay.
I was considering the idea that perhaps you might want to sit very boringly under a tree and stare at all the people go by. Or, maybe something else, more fun. Like, those swings are actually fun. There's a jungle gym over there. And look, there are kids over there.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm slightly distracted by the terrible mandolin playing in the next room.
But it's not that loud.
So
Patrick sort of starts to wander off towards the direction of the park and things. He's walking around and looking at the different things, and of course all the kids are playing and laughing and stuff like that, and he's just trying to figure out how to have fun in a well-behaved manner.
Yeah, and Dee, on the other hand, is heading over towards the swings.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't actually, because he's not actually her responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't have any particular problem with just letting him wander off wherever he goes. She's not going to. She knows he can take care of himself. If he needs to, he can. So she's just kind of letting him do whatever he wants, and she's going to sit there for probably 2 or 3 hours, playing on her phone, just swinging. But if somebody comes by, she knows she might talk to them. She's killing some time, basically trying to get him trying to just let him roam free for a little bit, because good grief.
Roll perception alertness, Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
And D2, I guess. Yeah, D2.
Is it hearing or sight-based?
Sight.
2 successes.
Okay.
Oh.
That gives me 2.
Okay. Both of you see this little girl dressed all in black, and the reason she gets your attention is that there are 2 very, very serious looking adults just standing over her, taking notes and telling her, no, you're going to go and socialize with that individual over there. As they indicate a kid just kind of sitting at a picnic table. And she's just shaking her head. No, thank you. No.
Oh, how old is this kid?
She's about 7 years old. And yeah, she's just kind of doing that kid thing, when you're scared and you're trying to bring your shoulders in closer to make yourself as small as possible.
Yeah.
Jesus, she's scared of them?
Oh, she's terrified.
And she's wearing all black. And what do they look like?
They're wearing business casual clothes.
Well-behaved adults.
Very serious looking adults. So there's a man and a woman. Yeah. The man has his hair slicked back and it's clean cut. And the woman has her hair in a tight bun. He's wearing horn-rimmed glasses. She's got a clipboard. And they're trying to you're a child, you need to socialize. Look, and the man points at Patrick, looking very meek. He looks very well behaved. Why don't you go introduce yourself to him? And she just kind of sits there, kind of slinked in on herself still, and he goes, "Now." And she nods, and she shuffles over to Patrick in that kind of shaky sort of way, and just kind of stands in front of him, kind of wincing.
I have a weird idea. You have to tell me if I can do this or not.
Yeah.
Because no kid should be scared of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like to do is basically, if does one of them seem to have a cell phone on them at least?
They'd probably, either of them would probably have a cell phone with them. Yes.
I have my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Can I possibly attempt to hack into one of their phones?
Their blue tape's available. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can roll a. Let's see. What would that be? Computers. And...
I have computers 3, and I have technology cell phones.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but according to
technology
Lindsay,
cell phones. Yeah.
Okay, according to Lindsay, it would be computers to hack. It she said that computers were software for software stuff, and which would be the hacking part, mm-hmm. and technology would be the hardware. But it's really up to you because you're running this. I'm just telling you that's how she is doing it.
I'm going to say technology because you have it specifically for cell phones and intelligence.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I will take it. I just figured I'd mention it. Analytical? I don't know if that applies here.
What are you trying to get from it?
Well, at this point, I'm trying to get access.
Okay.
Once I get in, I have some plans. I just want to get past their passwords and whatever security measures they have up, preferably.
Okay. We'll say for this first part, no.
I got one success. It's not great, but it's something.
You're in.
We'll see.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of different like phones in the area that kind of pop up as potentially their phones. If you want to roll it again to
extended roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Oh, that's a lot more.
Yeah, that is a lot better. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
And after your second attempt, you figure that these two don't look like the type to name their like Bluetooth anything whimsical like Big Daddy's Hot Ride or something ridiculous. And
that's hilarious. Okay, so I get in then basically.
Yeah,
whatever they have. Okay. As this little girl walks away towards Patrick, she's going to kind of look over to Patrick if he's still close enough that she can see him. She's just going to be like, kind of do that kind of, this kind of thing, like go, like grab her and go have fun. And she's going to basically make one of their cell phones start bleeping and blooping and doing all kinds of crazy shit in their pocket to present this distraction so the two kids can maybe get away to do something fun. Maybe the little girl will help Patrick get through this.
The woman picks up her phone and she's just like, and like trying to like get it to stop, and she's trying to like reset the phone and stuff.
Yeah, and if I can block the reset, block that. Basically, just have it not come up right. Have her start getting like messages on her like writing, whatever her writing thing is. Let's say things like "fuck you" and all kinds of things that just don't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
and so just cat videos just keep popping up.
Yeah, sure, we can have cat videos popping up. She's not going into the pornography area just yet, but for now,
Yeah, an annoyance. Yeah.
No kid should be scared of their parents. That's where this is coming from. She's basically just kind of fucking with them. She's really just trying to present this distraction. And she's assuming this will probably distract the guy with her as well.
Yeah, it's because she'll be like, can you do something about this?
So yeah.
And meanwhile, she's sitting over there just very discreetly, just playing on her phone. I'm just playing Candy Crush over here.
Oh Lord. So okay. Patrick, this little girl is standing in front of you and visibly shaking.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm Patrick. What's your name?
Allison Newt.
Did you just go by Allison?
Yeah. She just shakes her head.
And there's this sort of moment where there's something inside him that's sort of like, roiling, seeing this kid in such despair and stuff. And there's a moment where, oh yeah, no, that hasn't happened yet. Never mind. Not that. So, but there's still something like crawling up inside, like trying to get out. It doesn't have enough strength to, burst out just yet. But there's something there as Patrick's seeing this poor little girl. Do you want to go on the slide?
And she just kind of looks and she's like, also, I want you to roll perception kenning.
Perception kenning. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's only 4 dice for me. No, botch.
Oh man.
She seems like a perfectly ordinary little girl.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, she'll follow you over to the slide and just yeah, but she's very like hesitant to do anything. She's wearing a dress, so she just kind of like just like folding it over her knees so she doesn't you know, act inappropriate.
Right. Patrick's of course being polite, and he's they're taking their turn. He's not pushing or shoving his way up to get up there if there's like a line of kids and stuff. So it's being very polite, having well organized fun. And so yeah, they probably go down the slides a few times and stuff like that. But Patrick's not like laughing or clapping or anything along those lines. Having enthusiasm with what he's doing. Very proper. Gets to the top of the slide, slide down to the bottom, get up, walk around. Not trying to, run back up the slide or, jump slide or anything like that. Nope. Sit down, scooch, woo, up, walk around.
You're 2 peas in a pod at this point.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're bonding. And Patrick's soul is dying inside.
D, I want you to roll a perception alertness again.
Got 4 successes.
Excellent. So Patrick seems to be having fun with this girl.
Fun.
But you notice that there's 2 grown male redcaps who've arrived at the park, and they're not like intimidating anybody or anything like that, but they're just kind of like next to each other and just kind of talking to each other, like looking at Patrick, and they did like a little nod like that in the direction of either Patrick or the little girl, and they but you can't quite make out what they're saying because they're talking very low, and this was just to notice them.
Well, I'm sure I have dice for sneaking. Let me see what they are. Let's see. I have 2 stealth and 3 dex. All right, it could be worse. At least it's not 4. She's going to attempt to sneak closer to the red caps to catch what they're saying better. And if that happens to be closer, or if I can place myself somehow in between them, between those 2 and Patrick and the little girl, she's at the very least she's trying to place herself more convenient. If that's possible, she's going to do that too.
Okay.
But if nothing else, she wants to hear what they're saying. So sneak.
Okay.
Oh, that would be -1, but it is fail. So
yeah. So as you attempt to sneak, they look at you.
I'm just moving closer, basically.
Hello.
Imagine like failed sneaking, just being like the cartoonish sneak that's
a bot. That is a bot.
No, a bot would be like you happen to find the only one-man band in town and trip over him.
Hello.
Well,
I am perfectly normal Who-Man. How are you?
Well, as she realizes that this is not working, she's just going to sort of pause and glance down at her phone, look up at them, and just kind of do one of these.
And they give you a friendly as a red cap can give smile. Hello?
What's up?
They look at you with your extra legs and
blink all my extra eyes a little too much. What? It's the best I could do as an intimidating on a character with no intimidation.
They just
part your mandibles a little.
One of these years.
My human man. It's mostly the leg, and human being, it's the legs and the eyes. She doesn't have the rest. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just coughing. Anyways, one of them turns. One of these years.
Did he say one of these mine?
Yeah, one of these years. Are one of these years.
I claim all of them. I claim all of them. Every single one. What are we talking about again?
They just kind of laugh at each other, like owing each other. Like, this kid.
This guy. This fucking kid.
Oh, that's totally it. I love that's the fun thing about this character. Like she's 18, but nobody really thinks of her like an 18-year-old. So it's really kind of hilarious. So she gets away with being a kid when she really is just 18. She can do this. Anyway, so yeah, she's totally playing up the I'm underage teen thing.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking kid. This kid.
Pretty much. Yeah, they're all mine. All of them. What are we talking about?
And one of them turns to the other and goes, "You think she knows the kid?" I don't know. Hey. And he turns his attention back to Dee. "You know that girl?" He points to the little girl playing with Patrick.
Yeah, we're best friends.
Perfect, kid. Perfect.
We are the best of friends. Like 2 hearts beating as one.
Well.
Why?
Well, you read the news? You don't look like a kid who reads the news. Okay. Well,
you know what? I'll play dumb if it makes them feel better.
Her mom died a couple days ago.
Things click in her head.
And well, she should have been waking up around well, soon, but something seems to be going wrong.
You mean waking up like as she touches one of her eyes? One of the other ones that aren't her main eyes?
And you're smarter than you look, kid. And again, they're not like trying to be like mean or anything, but red caps are kind of asses.
She just shrugs and attempts to look slightly vacant.
Mouth hanging open slightly.
No, I mean not that stupid, but just a little, just a little bit of like, hi, I'm so into fashion. Yes.
Pulling off your best Quinn Morgendorfer impersonation.
I mean, she's in 4. She doesn't have, she could totally just be like, but she's not. She wants information.
Yes.
And people expect Puka to be dumb, so it's fine.
Which is really weird, right? So anyways,
that hospital, huh? As she just drops it on him. That hospital, huh?
Yeah, it's a little far from our side of town, but seems to have picked up somebody it shouldn't have gotten their hands on. It's not right to make a kid act like that, what they're doing.
She seems very comfortable with it. Totally comfortable, not at all scared or worried. She seems to love it.
Yeah. Problem is, she stays there too long, she actually might think she does.
There is a nod.
One of them kind of like leans closer. He goes, "Have you ever heard of those Pray the Fae Away camps?"
Her eyes get really big, all of them. All of the eyes get really big, and she shakes her head.
Well, if you do a little of your research in that direction, you might see some connections between that lovely little children's wellness center and some of those places.
I will definitely not consider anything you're saying at all. Like, why would I do that? I just met you. Can I have your number, one of you? Just in case I have any other questions or, just stories I want to tell.
One of them pulls out his phone. He's like, "Here, put your number in and call yourself. My name's Jamie. Jamie Malign."
She will do as he says on the phone. Mm-hmm. And send it back, hand it to him. And she will put in her name. Well, actually, she puts in her name as Gertrude on his phone. Because she's going to have like a million names by the time I finish with her.
Excellent. Great, Gertie.
She does the... Yeah. Right. Well, I may or may not have been hearing a little bit about some strange things. Maybe. So, what were you guys planning to do about it?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if you've noticed, not a whole lot of our kind in the area, in the nicer part of town. And he's very clearly indicating he means red caps. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think if we come around and we start kicking shit around, people are going to take great offense to that. And the last thing we need right now is a bunch of hoity-toits from Brig and Fowl coming to San Alipus to give us a hard time for kicking over a trash can or two.
I might potentially consider the idea of kicking trash cans. It sounds fun.
Great. We're going to we have some people we still need to touch base with before we make any final moves. We don't want the kid put in any unnecessary danger. But we'll be in touch. You might be able to I don't know, something.
She's actually going to look at her phone really quick since she still has that connection into that lady's phone. I imagine she's probably preset a bunch of crazy things for it to do by now so that she doesn't have to pay attention every second. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so because she's trying to keep this distraction as long as possible. And if the sound is off, she turned it up. You get the idea.
Yeah.
But she's going to go in there and she's actually going to at the very least grab a phone number, like the actual phone's phone number. Mm-hmm. So she has that and try to grab any personal information, but I'll do that part afterwards. But the phone number, she's grabbing it right now. Mm-hmm. So she has the number for this phone for this lady who is watching the girl.
Okay.
Just so you know, because she has full access to the phone, she might as well grab the personal information.
Excellent. The name is Lainey Jones.
Okay. I'm writing it on the sidebar so I can save it from later. Okay. And I'm also going to write Jamie there. Just to keep track. I'll make all these notes when I finish the scene.
Yeah, that's fine.
And she'll just kind of look up and be like, might have some information. Maybe. I will look into it a little bit more.
Sounds great. Please be in touch. And we'll be sure to be in touch with you as well, Gertie.
Absolutely. I have the most beautiful name.
Or do you prefer?
Oh, call me what you like. I also respond to Barbara and Sandy. And I especially like Bernice.
Great. My friend here is Michael, and I'm Jamie, like I said. And Michael's just like trying to stifle a laugh at this like little bout of nonsense coming from this tiny little girl to his friend.
She doesn't seem at all worried about the fact that they're red caps.
Yeah. Well, they're not like actively trying to menace. So yeah.
No, but
they are red.
They could have been like they come into a park where they're staring at children. Like that's creepy.
just two. Well, specifically one, but the other one gets their attention because of hanging out with her.
And the fact that he's obviously a changeling.
Yes.
And she'll kind of angle her head towards Patrick, and she'll just be like, "I totally don't know the other one."
Yeah. What's his deal? All the leaves and stuff. You'd think he'd be a little more active.
Well, obviously, he is just in perfect condition and not at all in any way, shape, or form involved with any kind of spell that I can think of whatsoever.
They just kind of both look at each other for a moment and look back at Dee. Any way you could clarify that, kid.
What is it after roll? Willpower?
You have to spend willpower and then roll your willpower.
Is that how that
Pukas get the short end of the behavioral willpower stick.
That's fine. I don't care. I'll play it out. I just want to.
You never know. You might be able to.
Yeah. So
yeah, we'll try it. Why the hell not?
I think you have 6 willpower. So yeah, you get to roll your permanent willpower, but you spend a willpower point.
I got it.
Okay, yeah.
I have a 9 in there, so
yeah.
And she'll just look at them directly and say, "Someone used naming on him."
It's a fucked up thing to do to a kid,
especially him.
Somebody that we should be taking care of.
I got this. She probably sounds a little bit harsher than she should. But she's starting to get really mad now.
Well, if you help us out, let us know if you need us to gently persuade somebody to take back any harsh words. And they give a... Imagine a shark trying to smile in a friendly way, and that's what you get from a red cap.
I am going to lead this red cap gang. This is going to happen. And she just kind of looks up at him and offers a hand without saying anything. Like that's a deal,
Yeah. And Michael will shake your hand first, and Jamie will, because everyone's named Michael.
Yay!
And you just gave plot information to the one who's going to have the hardest time explaining it.
Oh, Lord.
Meanwhile, it's not like Patrick's going to get this information. So.
Not yet.
What are you going to
do? Oh, nothing, sir.
Oh, she.
No.
Now she knows the kind of shit to look for if she were to go hacking now.
Yeah.
She knows exactly what to look for. This makes her happy. She has a reason to go in and look.
So,
yeah. With that, she doesn't have much else to say. So she's gonna kind of turn around and watch the kids. With them, I mean, she doesn't have much else to say to them unless they have something to say.
If you want to roll perception, empathy, or not empathy, kenning to try and see what's lurking beneath the mists there, you can.
Yes. I would love to try.
4 dice for you, I think.
We want to believe.
I want to believe.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell likes me.
You notice kind of like just kind of very, very faintly, her skin seems slightly leathery and her smile seems a little sharp. But it is very faded because somebody has done something to turn that into a shaking, terrified child.
She's supposed to be a red cap, is the first thing that goes through her head. No wonder these red caps are here watching this girl. And she kind of glances to the 2 red caps, probably now standing like, near her / with her, and just shakes her head because she just now finally saw it. There's a look of disgust on her face.
Yeah. And they sit and like kind of watch for a while, and they turn their attention to the distracted like watchers. And they use the fact that they aren't being watched to leave without being confronted by those 2.
Oh, because she totally. I mean, her plan to distract didn't work very well, but she certainly gathered a name and some personal information on this person. Was there like an address in there, or like a Facebook account?
There would probably be like her work email at the Ronald Reagan Children's Wellness Center. Probably an appointment book for the next week. No one has an appointment in the next week. There's a little note about a canceled meeting from earlier this morning. And that's about it. I mean, it wouldn't have a home address because it's her work phone. So
okay, no, that's so she doesn't have Facebook hooked into that phone either. No. Okay. But I was gonna ask something else too. I can't remember. What was her password? Because she might use that password on something else.
Okay. I'm gonna message it to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just because it's gonna be kind of
I mean, a lot of people use the same password or something close to that password, for other things. So for what I mean. So she might be able to use it to break into something else.
Yeah, that's fine.
All kinds of. Yeah, I mean, because I can't just go and say I'm going to take everything from the phone. I have to actually think it out.
Yes.
Drain her phone.
That'll be the last piece of information you get from that hack.
That's fine.
Yes.
She's pretty much going to exit the phone at that point. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Patrick and Allison are doing slides, still going on slides. He's still trying to be relatively an extroverted kid, but he has to be well behaved, so he can't really be full on who he is. But at the same time, he's staying close by her and, trying to be at least a somewhat comforting presence while she's scared, because he knows, he can't see her for who she is, but she's upset and stuff. And that side of him is kind of crying out like, protect her or something, but he doesn't know how. Or at least he has some ideas how, but he can't do that.
After a couple of go-arounds on the slide, she's going to look at the people who were supposed to be watching her and realize that they're distracted and just kind of edge to you know how the playgrounds tend to be risen for the slides, and then there's that area kids can kind of crawl underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to kind of duck in one of those and just kind of give herself a moment of definitely not being looked at, kind of a moment of peace.
Yeah. Patrick's gonna crouch down next to her for a moment. He goes, "You okay?"
Don't ever let them get you. Be careful about biting people. They'll get you.
Oh, I know. They got me too. Well, someone got me anyway.
And
I'm not usually like this.
And she kind of her eyes widen, and who did you bite?
Someone in their house. Pointy-eared guy tried to grab me. I tried licking his palm first, but he wouldn't let go, so I bit him.
I bit my mom. That's why she didn't love me anymore.
Oh no. Yeah, that's Patrick's it's Patrick's kind of doesn't know what to do for a moment, but decides to do something that he can. He opens his arms out to offer a hug.
And she'll kind of go in for a hug, but it's a very timid one, and if he hugs too hard, she's gonna kind of wince.
No. I mean, he's being well behaved. He's not gonna hold her tight or anything like that. But he gives her a hug.
Yeah, she still kind of does that, wince, because she's it's a long sleeve dress that hides quite a few bruises.
Yeah, I'm just going to
taking a point of rage.
I'm actually going to spend a willpower point just for a small little bit.
Okay.
Small little bit. And for a moment, as he's holding there, he whispers in her, and he speaks like Patrick, and he becomes Patrick again. I mean, maybe even that little bit of her can feel him change, just in a way, just the way his posture and behavior is. It's and he whispers to her, "I told you I'm not normally like this. But I'll get better. I promise. And I'll help you, okay?"
And she, you see kind of something flicker across her face, but because you failed your cunning roll, you don't know what the hell that is.
But yeah, it's that moment he looks at her and just smiles, and it's a very cheeky, very just oh yeah, I got this. I'll help you. I'll protect you. It's all good. Just happy, just full on for a moment, whether she really sees anything of what he is in whatever form, but she sees for a moment, it's the real him. Now, let's go jump down that slide.
And she nods, and she's like, okay. And she'll follow him out to go back down the slide and stuff.
Yeah. And this time he gives out a big giant whoop as he jumps down and slides and fully just tumbles off the edge and just lays down in the middle of the wood chips, just laughing. Starts rubbing his arms up and down like making snow angels or something in the middle of the wood chips.
He looks so happy right now. He's acting normal.
And he's looking up at the sky for just a long moment, just that brief little burst of fun. And he sighs. And then he just lays there and he doesn't move. As he's just sort of staring up, going back into that enforced narrative.
And after Allison takes her own kind of less than proper slide down the slide, you'll hear Allison, very sharp from the direction of the adults. And sorry for yelling that. I heard myself echo through somebody's.
It's all good.
Anyways, yeah, that sharp sort of like disciplinarian call.
Yeah.
She kind of shrinks back into herself and heads in the direction of the adults, who, even though the phone is just obnoxiously malfunctioning, yeah, with the woman throws it in a bag and leads Allison away from the park.
Patrick sort of sits up and dusts wood chips. He watches her go.
Mm-hmm. And she'll be led into a black car without any like one of those cars that just screams trying to be inconspicuous.
Yeah.
but totally not.
Yeah.
Yeah. A black unmarked vehicle.
Yes. And it drives off.
Did the Redcaps still sort of hang out at that point?
No. Once the vehicle leaves, they kind of just like give each other that sort of like, hey, we should get going.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I was just wondering if they just kind of stay chilling with her. But that's fine. So she'll kind of wave.
They'd feel like creeps if they were just like lingering.
It's fair. Unless they're having an actual conversation with someone, in which case it's not creepy, but we're not talking anymore.
Yeah.
It's fine. As they start to leave, she'll wave to them.
Mm-hmm. See you, Gertie.
Absolutely, James. Which he totally just changed on purpose, by the way.
Okay.
I'm going to screw with everybody else's names, too.
Perfect. And Patrick is, yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say that nothing important, really.
Oh.
He's just, if he seems like he's actually having fun, she's just going to let him do that. Honestly, she'd probably stay there for hours at this point.
It was just that one whoop, but it seems to have faded back really quickly. Now he's back and he's dusting himself off a bit.
Then she's going to head back over to the swings where she said that he could find her when he was ready.
Yeah, he's not coming over not too long after that, after he dusts himself off. It's like, I think I'm done now.
Gotcha. You make interesting friends.
She was very sad.
She has the potential for big, big teeth.
She did say she bit her mom.
Ow. She just makes a face. Because Redcap people have nothing to sneer about. Totally need to just ignore that and do absolutely nothing, don't you think?
There's nothing I can do about it now.
Maybe not this exact minute, but you never know in the future, right?
That's true.
there may have been some people like her that or that should be like her. Maybe they might have potentially been here while you were clearly doing absolutely nothing.
I was trying. I was trying to do something.
You might have for a second.
Yeah. For a second.
Well, I think potentially that this problem is going to have a splendid ending. Just
well, I hope we can make it a happy ending. I like those.
I mean, you totally. And she'll kind of lean in as she's kind of walking away. I'm assuming they're walking away at this point. Did you notice? Did you happen to notice her teeth?
He shook his head.
It might have been there. Just really, really not obvious. Those people are clearly the best people I have ever known and have basically tried to ruin her.
Why are adults so mean?
Those were exactly the right kind of adults for doing what they're doing.
Well, they're pirates. The worst kind of pirates.
I do believe that you are right. But there's no way that I'm going to let this end the way they want it to.
All right. I just don't know how.
And she'll kind of lean in close to his ear and just be like, we'll find a way to fix you.
Just don't want to feel bad anymore.
But you can absolutely trust that I will not do anything that I can to try to resolve this situation in the most fortuitous way.
I don't know what that means.
It's okay. You don't have to. I do.
Okay, I guess.
I'm willing to bet there's some cookies at my house. My mom seems to start making them endlessly whenever there are kids around.
Oh, cool. And so I think they'll wander back to the house. And unless there's anything else we want to add onto this, I think that's a good place to end it.
All right. This is where we'll end our scene then. Thank you so much, players, for doing this. And until next time.